going to go to University of Missouri if I hadn't decided not to go anywhere. And then after we got
What were you going to major in?
Journalism. Then they wanted to go on to college. And mother would pay for her and my parents would pay for me. But I didn't think we ought to do that, so I went to work on the railroad.
And what did you do on the railroad?
I was a brakeman. Didn't like it. Just quit going. And then I went Navy.
So this was right around World War II, Pearl Harbor time?
Yeah. It was 1943. I went in the Navy in July of 43 and got out in December of 45.
So how old were you when you went
3
in?
months after I was born. 3 or 4 months, well.
That 3.
I was born in March.
So Carmen was 3 months old when you went in the Navy. How old were you when you went in the Navy?
Well, how old was I?
Yeah.
25?
23.
Okay. So you were in for 2 years?
About 2.5.
2.5 years. And tell us about that. Where did you first get on your first ship? And
I was interviewed. I told them I wanted to be a photographer, and they agreed. Sent me to Pensacola for 6 weeks of photo school. Then sent me to Anacostia, D.C., in the Naval Intelligence Laboratory to learn how to make lithographs. I didn't know why, but I could have gone to what's called vectograph school in Boston. I had my choice of 3 things. I could have gone in movie school in Sarasota, Florida, or vectograph school, which is 3D photography and aerial photography in Boston, or this lithography school in Anacostia. So I just took Anacostia. Didn't know what it was. But I didn't want the other 2. Graduated, and they put us in a room, and they said, we're going to call you out one at a time. And we're going to ask you one question. If you say yes, we'll elaborate. If you say no, you go out this back door and don't you go back in where those other guys are waiting. I said, okay. He said, we want you to parachute down into China behind the Japanese lines and run a propaganda outfit. And he said, you won't be in uniform, you'll be in civilian clothes. I said, no.
So you went out the back door. Yeah, and thank goodness, or we probably wouldn't be here today.
That's right.
I would.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, so then you wound up going out
Then
to
they
sea.
sent me to, after school, they sent me to Seattle, Washington, to wait for a ship. It was nothing but photographers there. When a ship needed a photographer, they just pulled your name out of a hat. Well, I went down into town, and there was nothing. All it was dreary and raining all the time. And I said, give me the next ship out. And I did. It did, and I got a CDE, which is a small carrier. It was really a good ship. So
What was the name of it?
USS Hollandia, CDE 97.
And what would have happened if you had waited and gone out on one of the next 2
No,
ships?
it could have been, some of the guys were killed that waited. Some of them were killed that were before me.
Some died of boredom in Seattle.
And where did you go in the Pacific?
All over the South Pacific. Guam. We were at the invasion of Okinawa, and we were in a task group of Admiral McCain that was bombing Honshu in Japan. Interesting, I never knew why we were told to do this. Nobody ever knew but the captain. We got a message, urgent message, to go to some point between Saipan and Japan and Tokyo. And just before we got there, they said, never mind, turn around and go back. What I figured it was, that was just about the time they dropped the atomic bomb. That we might sit in the middle of that, and if something happened to that plane, we could pick them up and save that bomb.
Gosh.
But that's just my own guess.
You never got that confirmed?
Now, when I asked the intelligence officer, who moved to Mississippi later, and we became friends, I asked him what, he didn't even know why we were told to come and then turn around. Oh, another thing, I think it was we were headed for the Battle of Leyte Gulf and got into a typhoon. It buckled the plates of our ship, and we had to turn around and leave and go back to San Pedro to get the ship repaired.